What's going on guys, Aero here, and welcome back to another video. Now in today's video, I want to talk to you guys about some recent leaks and rumors that have been going on about Pokemon Sword and Pokemon Shield. Now ever since the official reveal for Pokemon Sword and Shield back in February, we really haven't gotten any new information about the game since then. Like, it's all pretty much just been random leaks and rumors that have been coming out over the internet, and I know a lot of you guys keep sending them to me and you're always like, Aero, talk about them. So most of them are obviously blatantly fake to me. Like, I'm just like, there's no way to cover this, like I just can't. Like, it's so obvious to me that it's fake. But a few times some of them end up being kind of ones to talk about, and they might be a little more convincing. I think I only made one video so far in the past, like about Pokemon Sword and Shield leaks, and that one, it was just mainly people who predicted that the games were actually going to be called Sword and Shield. So we took a look at some of those rumors and leaks and like what people were saying about those games because they got the names correct. But today, the leaks that I want to talk to you guys about for Pokemon Sword and Shield come from potential Chinese sources. Now the reason that I want to discuss these leaks with you guys is that if you guys have noticed in the past, whenever we get some leaks from Chinese sources or leaks that are in Chinese, in terms of Pokemon, a lot of times those leaks can turn out to be true. I mean, if you guys remember with Pokemon Sun and Moon back in 2016, we actually had a Chinese leaker who was giving a whole bunch of information about those games, and they were basically hinting and giving teases for upcoming new Pokemon, and they would post a whole bunch of images that were hinting at these brand new Pokemon. And I know that the one that I remember the most is there was a picture of a toucan that they posted, and everybody was thinking like, is there going to be a toucan Pokemon? And sure enough, it turned out to be Pikipek's final evolution, which was Toucanon, and that was a brand new toucan Pokemon. And then with Pokemon Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, we had some Chinese Riddlers that were giving inside information about what those games were going to be like. They were pretty much giving us hints about Team Rainbow Rocket and how there was going to be like a battle factory type of facility in the game, and all of that stuff turned out to be true as well. So a lot of times these Chinese leakers can have stuff that turns out to be true. And if you guys remember Jinx Club or Poke Serena back in those days with Pokemon Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, she has also been translating the leaks that have been coming out for Pokemon Sword and Shield, and she's kind of saying that these also have a chance of happening. So there's a lot of people that are covering this, and I feel like it is worth talking about because a lot of the stuff that's in this leak is actually very interesting. Alright, so the first thing that it says here is that there's going to be a new spirit armor system that's going to be introduced in the game that lets you equip armor or equipment that you have found throughout your journey. Now to me, this definitely seems like the new game-breaking thing that they always seem to do with every single new generation now. I kind of wish that they would just stick to having new generations without introducing stuff like this, but it seems that this is the path that they want to take. So with like Generation 6 we got Mega Evolutions, with Generation 7 we got Z-Moves, and it seems that Generation 8, according to this leak right here, it's going to be something with Spirit Armor. Now continuing on, it says here that Spirit Armor adds different effects depending on the item, and only one can be attached to a Pokemon at a time, but this is in addition to regular held items. So it seems that this isn't going to be like with Mega Evolutions, where if you give like a Charizardite X to your Charizard, then that counts as the held item for it, or like if you give a Fire EM Z to your Charizard, then that counts as like the held item as well. It seems that you're going to be able to give Spirit Armor, but then on top of that you're also going to be able to give it like a Focus Sash or a Citrus Berry or whatever held item that you want. Now it also says here that some held items may be converted to Spirit Armor, or at least gain the ability to serve as it. Never Melt Ice is given as an example, which will add an extra 10% of freezing an opponent. Now this is actually really cool because it seems that the Spirit Armor mechanic is not only just going to apply to your stats, like you're not just going to be able to give your Pokemon better defense or better offense, but it seems like you're also going to be able to increase like the usability of your moves. Like if you're going to be able to use something like this where you can have a 10% more chance of freezing your opponent, then that could make some of your teams like really cool as well. Like if you have like a snow team that you're using when it's always hailing and you're going to be using Blizzard and Ice Beam, having a chance to freeze your opponents more could be very useful. So I think that this could actually be a really cool mechanic, and they could use so many different types of teams that could go around this, like with different things that are going to be increased. Like if you're having a chance to burn your opponent more, or if you're having a chance to make your opponent fall asleep, there's a lot of crazy things that could happen from this. The next thing that it says here is that another example of Spirit Armor was given as a fiery necklace that changes an attack's type to fire. And so once again, having something like this could be insane, because if you have the ability to change one of your moves to any type that you want, this could definitely cover up for so many weaknesses that Pokemon could have. Like if you know that one of your Pokemon's weakness is like a steel type, and you're like, okay, steel types are like my one Pokemon's weakness, and I don't have anything to counter them, if you could make one of your moves become a fire type move, like just having it with the same power too, like if you could just have an Ice Beam but count that as like a flamethrower because you can change that type to fire and counter steel types, this could change the entire competitive metagame, and I really think that this could be something really fun. I would love to see how this could turn out. It also says here that similar to Z-Moves, some Pokemon will have exclusive Spirit Armor that can only be equipped by them, such as Mewtwo and the starting Pokemon. Now speaking of Mewtwo, if you guys haven't seen, we actually did get a new trailer for the brand new Pokemon movie that's going to be coming out this year, and that movie is going to have Mewtwo in it, and we got to see this new armored form of Mewtwo, and if I can find a picture of it, I'll put it up on your screen right now, but this new armored Mewtwo, a lot of people are speculating maybe it could tie into this new spirit armor mechanic that could be in Pokemon Sword and Pokemon Shield. And we have seen in the past that the Pokemon Company likes to do this, where they'll tease something new that's going to be in like their next new generation within a movie, and then we'll get to learn more about it when we actually play the games. I mean, if you guys remember Mega Mewtwo Y, when we all first saw Mega Mewtwo Y, everybody was wondering like, is this a new form of Mewtwo? Is this like a Mew 3? What is this? And we really had no clue, but then we got to learn more about Mega Evolution inside of Pokemon X and Pokemon Y. And also another pretty interesting thing with Mewtwo is that there was actually a recent data mine for Pokemon Go, and someone did discover that Mewtwo is supposedly going to be having a new form, and that's going to be added into Pokemon Go, and it did have like an A next to it, so people are saying that it might be an armored Mewtwo. So if they are going to be adding an armored Mewtwo into Pokemon Go, then it really seems like they're trying to promote this whole armor thing, and maybe this whole spirit armor thing could be true. Now in terms of the starter Pokemon, it says here that all 3 starter lines will remain pure grass, pure fire, and pure water, but if equipped with their unique spirit armor, they will become grass and fairy, fire and fighting, and water and ghost. Now if you guys want my opinion on all of these, in terms of Grookey's line turning out to be Grass and Fairy, that's a pretty unique type combination. I don't think we really have that many Grass and Fairy Pokemon. I think the one that I can only think of right now is from Gen 7. It was like that new mushroom Pokemon that they had. I think it was like Shiinotic or something. I think that was a Grass and Fairy. But besides that, I can't even think of any. There might be a few more I'm missing, but yeah, that's the only one I can come up with right now. So that would be cool to have. I mean, the only thing about this is that Poison is just going to destroy this Pokemon. Like Poison is going to be ×4 effective. Like Poison is just going to wipe out Grookey's entire line, but Grass and Fairy is a unique type combo to have for a grass starter. Now for Scorbunny, it says that Scorbunny's final evolution line with the spirit armor is going to be fire and fighting, and for that my response is,
why the hell would you do this? What good does it do you?
And finally for Sobble, it seems that with the spirit armor equipped, Sobble's line is going to be water and ghost, and that would also be a very unique type combination. I think the only water ghost Pokemon that I can come up with right now is Jellicent. There might be another water ghost, like there might be a few that I'm missing, but yeah, that's the only one that I can come up with right now, and that would also be a very unique type combo to have. The next thing that it says here is that both Pokemon games are only going to have a single wolf-like legendary Pokemon as their mascot, but the spirit armor that it wields will determine its type and attacks. In Pokemon Sword, it will be a dragon and steel type, and in Pokemon Shield, it will be an ice and steel type. Now this, to be honest, I can also see happening, because if we take a look at the logos that we have right now, both of these logos are exactly the same in terms of what we see for the wolf. Like it's just the same exact design except it's flipped, and I feel like maybe this could be true in the fact that we're only going to be getting one legendary Pokemon, but it's going to have like 2 different forms that you can get in Pokemon Sword and Pokemon Shield. Now the cool thing about this is that it says here that players can connect with others who have the opposite version to unlock the other version. So it seems that if you have Pokemon Sword, you can connect with someone who has Pokemon Shield, and then you're going to be able to turn your Wolf Legendary into both versions, so you're going to be able to have the Sword version and the Shield version. Now if this turns out to be true, then I'm really in favor of this new approach that they're taking with legendary Pokemon, because for the longest time, legendary Pokemon have just been powerful Pokemon that you find throughout your adventure. But with Pokemon Sun and Moon, they kind of changed how legendary Pokemon work, because for the very first time, we had a legendary Pokemon that actually had an entire evolution line. And so if in Pokemon Sword and Shield we're going to be getting a legendary Pokemon that has 2 different forms that you can only get in each version, that's actually something really cool to have. Now the next thing that it says here is that the Wolf legendary Pokemon cannot go into battle if it does not have any spirit armor equipped. So it seems like if you don't have it in its shield form, or if you don't have it in its sword form, then it's completely useless and you're not going to be able to battle with it. And finally, the last thing that it says here is that there's definitely a connection to the Kalos region, with many characters reappearing, but you're not going to be able to travel there. And so here I also feel like that this makes sense. I mean, as much as people would love to go back to Kalos, and I think going to another region would be awesome, Game Freak just knows that they can really just have only one region in the game, and they're still going to get a whole bunch of sales for their game. There's really no reason for them to take extra development time to add another region if they already know that they're still going to get the same sales by just adding one region. So because of that, they're not going to add another region, but I still think it'll be cool to have some connections to the Kalos region. If they're gonna have like characters appearing, I would like to see like if it takes place in the future, maybe some of these characters could be a little bit older and they're more grown up, but it would be nice to just see how some of the characters have changed. And so there you go guys, those are the leaks that we have right now for Pokemon Sword and Pokemon Shield. If you guys enjoyed this video, then please be sure to click that like button, and also comment down below and let me know what you guys think of this. Are you guys excited from these leaks? Do you guys want to see some of these things? What do you not like about them? Definitely be sure to comment down below and let me know. If you're new to this channel, then please be sure to subscribe. I'm definitely going to have some more Pokemon content in the future, so please be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on that. Click on that bell to become a part of the notification squad. Go follow me on Twitter at Aero so you can be featured in videos, and also join my Discord server as well. We've got a bunch of people in there who are always talking about Pokemon and Smash Bros and Nintendo, and we've always got some viewer games going on in there as well with Smash Bros, so definitely be sure to join that. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you so much for watching.